And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Zoning citation hearings for Wednesday, March 24th, 2021. We have 4 items on the agenda, and first is 32 Adamson Avenue. And Mr. Hearing Officer, whenever you're ready.
Good afternoon. I'm Attorney Gary Oberst. I'm your hearing officer. To my right, representing the city of Norwalk, is John Hayducky. What we're going to do is the city's going to present its findings, then you'll speak, and then we'll see where we are. Can you raise your hand? State your name for the record.
Yes.
What's your name?
Marcia Jordan?
Okay, and you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Marcia, Mrs. Jordan, let's go.
All right, well, let's see, let's get everybody's favorite share screen. And 32 Adamson. So I don't know why the screen is shaking. That's interesting, but we'll press on. So the last time we were here was February 24th. And at that hearing, we continued the matter. There was a previous contingent fine of $500 placed at a previous hearing. And we continued the matter for some progress to today. And I'll scroll down here. So happy I figured out the pictures.
That's so great.
So I went by yesterday. Yesterday was a good photo of what still remains. We have the unregistered car here.
Mhm.
You have a little dirt patch parking area here, but we're focusing on the registered cars right now. And next picture, this is, oh, Aaron. Present that to the hearing officer, that would be nice. And then one more unregistered car to the rear of the property. And basically, the reason I have that note on the bottom is if that's just moved back just a little bit more, I'm pretty confident it meets the setbacks and they can have that car there.
But there'll be two.
That's two. We still have to get rid of one way or another, either remove from the property or get it registered. And
Are
that's
you
where we
talking
are.
about the one where? That one?
This one here is almost meeting setbacks. So all that, you can have one unregistered vehicle,
Mhm.
but it has to meet the setbacks.
Okay.
So this just has to be moved back just a little bit more
Mhm.
because you have to be, I don't have a survey of your property, so I'm estimating where it is. It has to be 30 feet from your front property line to the very front of the car.
Okay.
So I say if you can move that back as far as you can,
Mhm.
you'll be fine with that one.
Yes, that one move a little bit back.
Right, but then we still have the issue of this one
Oh, that one.
needs to be that one, if it gets registered, then it can stay right where it is. Don't have to move it, don't have to do anything. It can stay right there.
But they have to be raised.
Has to be registered. If it's not registered, because you already have this one back here, then it would have to be removed from the property.
Yeah, that's the car don't work. I don't know why he has the car there. They have been sitting there for maybe over 2-3 years.
Well, I know, it looks like it. That looks like it hasn't moved in a long time. So do you think you could get at least the other one, this one
So,
here? Something with that one?
yeah, that one is the one the guy going to buy it to get parts to fix the other one.
Okay.
So, but he said he going to move it tomorrow. I hope.
Oh, okay.
And probably he moved those, so then he has to move the Mercedes, not the other one.
This
The
one?
one unregistered,
Yep, this one?
yeah,
Yeah,
for a bag.
right. That would be, so if you
Like
if this one goes away, then you can just put this one back here and you're good.
Right.
So how about this? Do you think we can maybe try and push forward getting this one taken care of?
Yeah, I believe so.
So you think maybe if we said, you know, in 4 or 6 weeks,
Where were we a month ago?
I can bring that up.
It said some progress.
Where were we? This is for those of us who may be watching or may not be watching. This is the previous hearing photos and decision form. So I'm just gonna scroll down. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. There we go. So there's that one there.
Mhm.
Then, so this one's still here. This one's no longer there.
So
That's good.
there were 3 unregistered there.
Right. I couldn't tell if this one was registered or
And
not.
that was a month ago.
Right. So that's now been.
But there was some progress to get to that from the month before. So it's even worse.
No, this was, I'm not, this is how it was at February 23rd.
Right, and I said that there was some progress, meaning that it was worse a month before that.
Right, it was worse back in January when we first heard it.
All right, so we're getting very slow but steady progress.
Yes, slow but steady.
All right, so. So let me see what's going on.
Oh, there. I didn't want to throw too many papers on you there.
Just read what you wrote.
Sure.
Okay, so. Violation continues. Some more progress. Now, 2 unregistered vehicles. Only 2. Okay. There is room beyond the setback to store 1 vehicle. Other must be registered or removed. Contingent fine raised to $1,000. Continued, is 1 month enough? 1 month's enough to move a car.
You just gotta give them, that's. gotta give them
1 month to, what's the date?
1 month from now, I don't think we have, to be honest with you, Mr. Hearing Officer, I don't believe we have a hearing set for that. The next that we have, I believe, actually today is the 24th, I believe we have one. It's either the 21st or the 28th, actually, I should go look at that for.
I don't have it committed either one.
Yeah, so, I mean, we could schedule one for the 28th,
Let's make it this one.
let's make it the 28th, we can
So
start now.
review to 4/28/21. Oral notice, we're telling you right now, the next date is 4/28.
April 28th would be the next time we come here.
If you got this completed, just call Mr.
Yeah.
Hayducky, and so we won't have to go through this, but you will want to come back to discuss your fine.
So what
Or
basically.
you don't have to come back and just pay the fine.
We don't want you. Yeah. So let me know if, you know, if that car in the back is removed and the other one there gets put back there, just let me know.
Okay,
And then you just come back here and it'll be between you and the hearing officer about if there's anything.
all right.
All right, so the 28th, we're good?
Yeah, 28th is good.
All right, well, I don't think anybody's watching at the moment, but just for the sake of record, next time we'll meet on this is April 28th. All right, and I'm gonna pause. All right, ladies and gentlemen, or nobody at this point, we are back and we are on
There
to,
could always be somebody in the future wants to look back. and
right,
see
it's
this.
just, right, right. Oh, yeah, that's why I always say
We
what
got to
we're doing.
record it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say at least what we're doing. We're moving on to 23 Ryan Avenue, And the owner has already informed me that he would not be able to attend today, but we do have his okay to move forward. So let me get again. See, I don't love doing this anymore because I actually figure it out now. There we go. Okay, so 23 Ryan Avenue. Sure.
Okay,
The 23 Ryan Avenue was last here in on 24th of February. At that time, there was reasonable progress determined. Violation does continue. $1,000 contingency fine in place. Continues for 1 month for further progress. So 1 month is today. And so the photos we have are from yesterday. And so the prior, so say site conditions, which I can pull up right here. I'll just sit down here. Geez. How did we do everything right? Okay. So we have had a ladder back here in the rear of the property, had shelving and other materials and equipment on the side. This little, there we go. Materials and equipment on the side. And all this junk here on the side under the snow. Yeah, equipment under the tarp here. Now this here, I guess I'll lead into it now. This actually belongs to the owner of the property. He was renting this little space out to another tenant. So this actually belongs to the owner of the property. And that was how it was last time. This time, ooh, there we go. Much better. No shelving or equipment over here. He still has one ladder back there, but I'm one of those guys, I don't know, I let people have a ladder. And I think I got a double picture. Nope, I got a little close up here so you can see the shelving is gone with the heavy equipment on top of it. So the only thing remaining on the property is this big pile of Belgian blocks. The owner has told me several occasions, that he's probably been on the record here, saying that he wants to take this and use for his property. That this is a through lot to Ingalls Avenue, and wants to use it there. So, and that's where it's saying. So basically, this seems to be truly his. The violation of operation of a contractor storage yard is no longer there.
was there a violation noted about this at all?
About this here?
Yeah.
At first, I did note it because I did not know.
So when did you note it?
Well, when we first started,
So
we
what's
first
the
sent the citation.
problem that I'm looking at, this went back so long, May 2020.
That's when we first got the,
June, August, September. October was upheld, November, similar. It's for a few more days in November. And then you said, still didn't do anything. There's a $300 contingency fine, continued the matter.
there's where I got the number.
December 29th, presence of a trailer, some pallets, and continued storage of equipment and vehicles. December 30th, continued the matter. It's $1,000 based on some project, based on some progress. Truck, trailer, and equipment lease must be removed. February 3rd hearing was postponed, and February 16th, continued storage of trailer, commercial truck, and masonry materials.
I didn't mention that, yeah.
On February 7th, a hearing notice was sent to the owner. February 20th hearing. Site is much improved in February. It's like almost a year this is going on. Trailers must- Continued matter based on notice testimony 1 month allowed for the rest of the equipment to be removed. All equipment has been removed. Power masonry stone. So there's no violation at the moment, is what you're telling me.
Right, the actual violation is just, it is by the letter of the law, the actual violation is the operation of a storage business, contractor storage business. That has not, that's no longer there.
So do you want to close this matter or do you want to keep it open for further?
I would, just by the nature, let's make sure, and he hasn't, I mean, he's been slow with this, but he hasn't really lied to me yet. So I will, I want to make sure that those bricks are indeed for him and this tenant doesn't come back, because the tenant was his friend. So I want to make sure he does it, you know, his friend's not out for a couple of months and then comes back and we take the guards down.
Okay.
So if you want to see where this, and plus, if you just tell him to this for his property, we give him just a little bit of time to see if he starts using it for his property. And if he does, then we always tell him.
Well, you can move a couple bricks without a problem, but he's got to get somebody to do this project. He does it himself. You just take a wheelbarrow full and move a couple bricks out isn't necessarily the way.
No, right. But it is also at the same time, you know, if he's not actively selling those or using them on jobs on the other side, on, you know, other properties, it's not really a contractor's business. I'm not saying this to defend him, I'm saying this just because of what I put down on the radio.
Okay, so
notice.
you're basically telling me he's cured what he was, his violation.
Right,
You
and
want to make another violation, you can do so.
I could do that, I would have to send another,
I understand.
Citation, I could do that.
How, you're tagging this on when you didn't really,
right, didn't second the first time. And then, but I'll be honest, probably at that hearing, just after the, I brought it up, that's probably when he started saying it's gonna be, he's using it's his, it's not his.
all right, so let's close this out. You can check it and see if it's there and you want to cite him, or if something comes back, you can always cite him. But as far as we're concerned, he's cured.
I would think he is.
All right, so let's do that.
Oh, here, sorry.
All right, so violation, the parentheses, as charged,
Yeah, I do it.
cured. Fine, reduced, still not fine, reduced $1,000 to $500. File closed. or is it-
File was not closed until we get a file, I think this is the way Matt suggested at one point, I didn't hit remitted to administrative fine collection, or something along those lines.
File. Admitted to. So we're done with this.
Yeah, so now it's here. Exactly. That was 23 Ryan Avenue. It's off the hearing, and there is a fine of $500. So we exit out that. Stop share. I'm gonna take a pause. All right, ladies and gentlemen, moving right along, we have 7 Thistle Road. This one, I have not heard from the property owner. But as I've not heard recently, you'll see why during my presentation. So I'm gonna present the file and we'll see if the hearing officer wishes to hear it. So.
It says not more than one, and you're saying there's one. No, I'll listen to you first.
Yeah, there we go. I was like, oh, yeah, we gotta do it. So we have, matter of housekeeping. We have a complaint which was submitted, and somebody actually put their name on it, which is fantastic. Regarding a, wait, wrong one, I'm on the wrong one here, hang on. Let me get this. switched. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that was 7. There we go. Now we're cooking. 7 Thistle. Whew. We got a complaint of a ugly taco truck permanently parked.
So the ugly, if it weren't ugly, you wouldn't complain?
I have no idea.
I
That's a
think
good
ugly
question.
subjective.
It's very subjective. I think it
I
is.
think that's irrelevant. Is the taco truck allowed or not? All right.
Right, that's the crux of the problem.
Right, okay.
So we're gonna go there, and this is the initial, this was filed with the initial complaint. And there should be 2 photos on that. Or
Like primarily, do they sell food on it out of here, or don't these trucks move to sell?
they
food?
do, but either way, I mean, I've never seen that anybody there purchasing. But then again, I've never seen it, I've very rarely have seen it not there, so.
Looks like a nice truck.
That's not terrible, I don't know why it's.
I don't think it's
I don't think
ugly,
it's ugly.
in my opinion.
No, my opinion's, our opinion's not worth whether it's ugly or not, apparently, so.
That's like, you know, judging anything.
Alright,
I would hold it, okay.
so we have the owner of record, William J. Powers from February, not from Stratfield Road in Fairfield. And this was the notice of violation sent. Now, there's gonna be a discrepancy there because this complaint came in really on the 20th of February. I did not get out there quickly enough before our world shut down. Because it was pretty low. It was 1 commercial vehicle. It was, that's not high on the old totem pole. So that's fine. At the time it wasn't. That was what it was. It's a little different now.
All right, go ahead.
So that's the notice of violation to the owner of record. This is the green card return, shockingly signed. Now whether that's the
Oh,
actual,
yeah, that's been my problem.
yeah,
What was that? This was during COVID.
right.
I'm not real comfortable with these.
Well,
But let's go on.
let's see what we got. Yeah, we can have that discussion. That's fine. I threw this in here at the time because I figured it was just a good point for it in the presentation. This was a follow-up by the same gentleman that filed the complaint. And he was just, trying to get an update there. So what the heck's going on?
So you're saying at some point trucks weren't there.
On the bottom of that email, at one point, right, and I thought it was show up.
It's 14.
He filed a complaint on 2 properties.
Okay.
So he's on the,
I got
this is number 7. Keep the other one in mind for later.
you. Okay.
So. And then because I had not heard anything
Where
from,
we, so 7 Thistle Road is what was in front of me. right?
yes,
Okay, go on.
yes.
Sorry to keep interrupting.
No, that's why I know, but like I said, keep the other one, Columbine, in the back of your head. So I sent a courtesy letter. I don't normally do these. I sent a courtesy letter to the property owner. And I'll explain why. But that went on deaf ears, if you will. Got no response at all.
And this was
December.
I got it. Okay.
Yeah, that was just as a courtesy, see what's going on. So, I sent a citation on March 10th to get here today to the owner record again. I don't know why I printed it out again, but crossing T's, dotting I's here. And so what I did was, because I knew COVID was starting to be an issue, that USPS says it was delivered to an individual at the address listed. Whether that individual was the owner or,
Neighbor picking up the mail or a
Right.
kid, or you just,
yeah.
not real.
And then lastly, I have the green card, but you'll see a similar problem.
COVID, yeah, this is,
Right.
I think the husband just printed the name, but he didn't.
And he signed, and he
Signed
signed.
that he delivered it somewhere. Okay,
So the only thing I will say, the reason that I continued this forward during all of this is that at one point I was in contact with the property owner.
Uh-huh.
And it was by phone, and that's why I mentioned it in the report. The hearing officer's hearing report memo. Because I did have correspondence and that I did have a conversation that the owner did understand what was going on. Now, but then it goes,
This is a rent,
this is a rental.
this is a rental, the guy's renting it and sticking a truck there and probably in violation of his rental agreement, but nevertheless, it's the owner's problem.
Right, that's the owner's problem, right?
I got you.
And so and the reason that I think that's important to point out is because I did go out and initially, now this was from July, but I did see the truck there right from the get-go, from when I started going out there, and it's been pretty much in the same spot. I don't know how much sorry for the blurry photo here, I didn't realize if I printed it out, same spot. And still the same thing. And, you know,
But I mean, he can't park it there at all, right?
No,
Not
not
just
at all.
for an hour or anything.
well, here's the rub with this, and this is, you know, two things I would want to bring up is that I have been in contact with him. And first of all, he was adamant that it could stay there, because he was, this gentleman's apparently an attorney. So he read the regulations, and he stated that that truck is not 1 ton. That's where I'm getting. You're allowed one commercial vehicle so long as it's under a 1 ton carrying capacity. Not to get into too much history, once in my 13, 14 years here, has somebody proven to me that a food service vehicle was under 1 ton, and it was a trailer.
I think you're looking at backwards though. And you have to prove it's over a ton. You're not making a complaint.
That's correct. I look at this as is a double axle truck. Those typically, each axle 1,000+ pounds. That's the way I look at it. That's how I've always looked at these.
Okay.
The trailer one was not a double. And I basically took a chance, see if I could get it, either he was gonna prove me wrong, or maybe on the off chance he'd move it to where it could be legal. He chose to challenge it, and he challenged it and won. But typically, see, I can,
Isn't this possibly
that's double axle, 2 wheels, yeah.
possible to just look up the truck and see what its capacity
I
is?
just don't know what I haven't been able to get on the property to see what the make and model is.
Okay.
That's the other, I could have done that. Or the tenant who has this truck, very easily could just email, they could email it to me. I gotta assume they have it in their glove box or in a file, because they need it for all their licensing and things like that.
Right.
It's not like saying, where's your, the specs on your, your drive around vehicle, you don't have that
Right.
anywhere.
I'm just trying to think, so if this is the tenant and he doesn't. If the owner loses, the tenant's gotta move his truck.
Right.
So both the tenant and the owner have a vested interest in proving this is under 1 ton.
Right.
We're making the assumption it's over 1 ton based on what we know from experience, but can't prove until they show up and they say it's under 1 ton. Fine, give us the special, look it up, and it's under 1 ton.
Right.
And then we're just stuck with ugly, nothing we can do about
Right, and we have to tell the neighbor that, hey, they proved to me that it is under a 1 ton capacity.
Right.
They can have it there. I think they would still have to move it back a little to get the setbacks like the
it. Right.
one prior, but they have room to do that. I can't see why they wouldn't if they wanted to.
Right. All right.
So it's, but I think we should just have the very quick discussion of if nothing else, today's hearing. We do have because it clearly was signed as COVID accepted. The only argument, if there was one to make for me, is that to say that they're unaware of the violation, I would go on the record and say that's not true, because I've been in contact with the property owner.
Where of the violation, on that question, where of the notice?
And that's where I
How
said,
do we know he has notice? We could go under, since he's a lawyer,
hmm,
I wouldn't do this. Why?
Right.
Because you tell him he's a lawyer. If I
Yeah.
say you had notice, he knows damn well he can prove it. He can argue it.
it's pretty easy for him to argue that.
Yeah. What do we notice? Well, here's this card. Well, I didn't sign it.
Yeah,
I'm reluctant to do it, but I'd like to move this along. I mean,
and that's, and what we could do the usual, see if,
I give lawyers a lot of benefit of the doubt. But still, I should give them, the fact that they're a lawyer, they gotta act like a lawyer. Right, go ahead, what are you saying?
well, I was, what we could do is, we could uphold the violation, we could do, I can look up using the, law department's resources for a constable. Just uphold the violation, that I make the argument that the violation is pretty clear, and,
Yeah, I won't fine or anything.
Right.
So that violation found, continued. All right, let's do it that way.
and then I can get the law department's resources, or perhaps the hearing officer's resources, and, figure out a
There's a
constable.
list of all these process servers. They're all looking for work. As you
Yeah,
know. Sorry, I put this signed the wrong place.
Right. I do that all the time.
First time, this way, even if he says no notice, fine, no harm, no foul, let's keep going.
Right.
First time down. Continued. Ooh, when are we continuing?
And we just did a April 28th hearing. I don't think I'd be able to get notice to him for the 31st.
Continue to 4/28/21.
I was like, really, I'm not sure if we have another date between now and then. That's fine. That's fine. I'm saying.
Need in hand service.
Yeah. I'll be Michael.
All right. I'll take care of that. That way it doesn't just, it's still live.
Right. And I think that's more, because obviously, the neighbor is aware of this and he's on it, so
Yeah.
I want to make sure that we are at least doing what we
What we can do is.
deserve. And so people aren't being bored, ladies and gentlemen, that was 7 Thistle. Oh, that's not recording. Cancel. And we are on last, but definitely not least, 14.5 Columbine. And here's the hearing officer's form and whenever the hearing officer's ready, you have the floor.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, yeah, it's 4 o'clock, I got you, I understand.
Okay, you're the owner of 14 Columbine?
Yes,
State your name for the record.
Francisco Gonzalez.
All right, Francisco, Mr. Gonzalez. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes,
Okay, Mr. Hideki is going to tell me why he's brought you here.
Okay, no problem. And we'll go to everybody's favorite, the share screen. So we have,
Is this new?
this is new, yes,
Oh, okay.
this is a new one. So, in order, we have a complaint that was submitted to our office February last year. And, there's a couple of pictures that were attached to that. I don't know why I scanned it twice, I guess I was in a good mood. So these were the photos that were submitted with that complaint I just presented to the hearing officer. And so this was enough to get me out there to go take a look. And, but we'll save that presentation for a few minutes. A lot of pictures you submitted with this one. Didn't realize there was that many. There we go. Okay, so we have the owner of record, Francisco Gonzalez, and Patricia Corona Cisneros.
Cisneros.
Cisneros, not
Yeah.
bad, hey, I'm getting better,
Okay,
not bad.
All
right. So-
So.
Well, I took French in high school, so it's even worse.
Good.
So that's the owner of record with this notice of violation sent on July. Oops, I don't know why I have a map up there, but I do. We'll probably come back to that. That's just pointing out where it is on Columbine. Columbine is, it's up by Westport Town Line, very close.
Okay,
And this is in the middle of the street here, and we have a rear lot being worked on over
Can you
here.
remind me a copy of that map?
Sure, absolutely, I'll get it for you, absolutely,
Thank you so much.
yeah. I don't know why that got stuck in there, but now we know where we're talking about here. So there you go. That's the green card for this notice of violation from July 23rd, 2020. There's the green card.
Mr. Gonzalez, you signed this? Did you see this? Did you get this?
No, I don't see any, I don't see that. It's supposed to come in the mail?
Yeah, this letter came in the mail.
Yeah,
This
the
letter.
letter, yeah, the letter.
The letter
I
you
got
got,
the
yeah.
letter,
All
Yeah,
right.
Fine.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that you got the letter. That's it, because what's sometimes happening is the postmen are just dropping it.
yeah, no, yeah, I got
Going,
the
you
letter.
got, that's good, good. Okay, that's the green card getting in. So this was a follow-up done by the individual who filed the first complaint. I just put that in there for continuity purposes. And I didn't, this,
You're doing it, so I'm gonna look at it. This is not the same.
no, this is the same, that's what I was gonna say. This is the same email that was on 7 Thistle. And I might as well come clean out. The individual complained on both.
Same guy is unhappy with his neighbors. Okay.
There we go. That's what it put.
Okay.
So prior to this hearing, we heard 7 Thistle, which is on the bottom, and 14.5 Columbine was his initial inquiry.
Okay.
And so follow up on that, I have the tax records here to once again verify that Mr. Gonzalez is the owner of record. There he is there.
Said he is.
Right, no, and this is where I put that out there because that's where the citation went for today's
Right.
hearing. There we go. And it has today's date on it. On the bottom. Right there. So, even though we did not get the green card back yet, Mr. Gonzalez was in contact with me, which means we got notice. He's here.
He's
He's
here.
here.
He's acknowledged you got the letter. It's fine.
So we are now going to go to the photos. Come on. There we go. Okay.
What were all these?
Those are from the complaint. Those are from the, as was submitted
Okay,
with the.
let me see your evidence.
Right. So here you go. I'll
So
give
you're
you-
not working with these.
Not anymore. Now we're working with it.
Now we got these.
All right. So,
Mr. Gonzalez, look at these as he shows them and tell me if
Yeah.
you have any objections.
yeah, so just make sure that I'm taking pictures of your property. So here's 14.5 Columbine. And when I was there the first time, saw the box truck landscaping
Yeah,
truck there. So that was on June 1st, 2020. And then I went out again, maybe the next photo there, on July 6th.
hold on, I have a question about this trailer.
Yep.
According to the letter, it say, any vehicle over a ton of capacity is not permitted in that area, right?
Any,
But that trailer is like a for 7, is less than a ton, so it still has to go?
or no, it's associated with the, at the time, the initial notice that we sent out was for operation of a commercial business,
Mhm.
and that's considered commercial equipment.
Oh,
We distinguish equipment
Yeah,
and
that's the
vehicle,
only
because
one.
obviously a vehicle is different from a chainsaw or something like that.
okay.
So, yeah, that's, we'll keep going. We'll, none of this is gonna be mind blowing. It's not gonna be anything shocking. This was also 7.9 was the next picture.
What is the,
This here is the truck.
I don't recognize any of those trucks online. This is 14.5?
Yeah. This is the driveway going up the, this is before I came and saw you, so I wasn't on the property. This is going up the side there.
I don't know, I don't recognize any of those trucks.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right, so you disregard that as well. There we go. That's why we're here. This is what we're doing. And with the second, so now this here was on August 20th, and there's nothing there. Gone. Mr. Gonzalez and I had met prior to this, and I told him that, the box truck couldn't be there, and we need to find another home for it.
Right.
So I went back on the 20th of August, and it was gone.
Okay.
So we move on to September, I believe it was, nope, sorry, November. November 5th. Still had none.
Okay.
So I do my usual, I do 3 visits,
Right.
and I had all intentions on doing another one in December,
Right.
it didn't. But before I could get back out there, I got an email from the neighbor, which I've attached here as well, showing the box truck again. And I know this dump truck was there, but that was for the construction behind you, that wasn't yours.
Now, that little box truck,
Yep.
yeah, in the corner,
Yep, that,
that's the same capacity of the van, like 750, 100 tons. I mean,
So-
less than a ton. Is the same capacity as my neighbor, my neighbor in the number 16?
Yep.
The next, they have 2 white vans over there, so it's almost the same. But this is box truck and the other ones are
right, that, and
just
that's,
regular vans.
yeah, that's, this here, is this have a double axle on it?
No, I mean, just in the front and
In the
front,
rear, the
2
two.
doors and 1 in the back. But it still is gone. I mean, that
That's,
that
well, that's
wasn't
good. It's
mine.
also, we can, that's the idea as well, is that.
That wasn't mine, so it's gone,
It's
but
gone?
just
Okay, that's good.
curious, why that little.
Well, that's it,
little-
we see this and we say that typically box trucks are a 1-ton capacity vehicle.
Yeah,
So we say, look, this could be, and we say, look, we say this, then you have to
yeah.
prove that it's not. So what somebody would do would just give us the specs.
There
for the
there
car.
is two styles in the white bands.
Mhm.
It's a white band and the other one is cutaway. So it's like when you cut
Yeah,
the half and put a box, but the capacity is the same as the band.
all right, and that's why,
I mean, it wasn't mine, but I just curious why.
yeah, no, and that's why we send the notice on this so
Sure.
that we get the information, because,
Mhm.
we say, we have a pretty blanket policy, we have to. And
Sure.
that's why we
Did
get.
you respond to Mr. Jacku?
Yes, I did. And I said we'd be, well, I called him, I have him on speed dial. One of those deals.
That's always,
Yeah.
always a bad sign.
Yeah, I know. And I was able to, I told him, I said, look, I'll take a look at this. We go back out there. And so this was interesting when I next time's out there in February. What happened, we have a landscaping vehicle here. But I honestly could not decipher whether it was on the neighboring property or on Mr. Francisco's Mr. Gonzalez's property, sorry.
I have explained a little bit of that. That's my truck.
Okay.
I recognize that's my truck, but.
Yep.
When you told me on the first time that we had to
Mhm.
take those vehicles out,
Yep.
so I'll take them out.
Yep.
But now in the winter time, I start working with the construction guy to removing, all that trash and everything.
In the back there, right?
But when the storm coming,
Yep.
when it comes too often, there's no, so after I'll not be able to take them out.
Yeah.
Because they are now 4-wheel drive.
Right.
So that's why you will always saw
See,
over
that-
there.
Right, and that was part of the issue. I just want to make the hearing officer aware. Number, I believe is 16 and a half. That was, if you want to refer to that other map, that was just behind Mr. Gonzalez's property, is under active construction. They're doing pretty substantial renovations and additions, and so it would be feasible, they would have to do some site work.
Okay.
And last but not least, almost last but not least,
No, that's the same.
same truck as before, yep. And then lastly, March 8th, still that, and still that, it was the same landscaping truck that was in the rear of the property as before. And then this was also, and the last photo we have was from the neighbor again,
Right.
and this is what was there. And that's why I sent the citation, you can get.
Gonzalez, this is on your.
Yeah, this is mine, but I don't keep it there. I just bring it to my house when I to fill it out with water, because I use that one for chemicals. for straight plants and everything. So maybe at that time when you come by from the street,
Yeah.
you look that one. Eventually, maybe you look that one because I know water from my house.
Well, that's,
But I used to stay for,
right, that's
an hour.
the issue. The issue lies with that is, I didn't take this picture. This is from the neighbor right here.
Oh,
The
okay.
neighbor submitted. So even if I'm not out there, the problem is it can't, something like that can't be there. Even at all. This zone is very restrictive. That can't even be there. Now, look, we do understand that, for example, guys come home for lunch. They have the things like that. We
Yeah,
understand that.
exactly.
So that's why we have to get a real grasp
So are
on.
you keeping this here overnight when you bring it home?
No. You only, I rent a garage for those,
Okay,
but only during the day, if I finish the product, I come to my house to load water, but it stays like an hour or less. So it's not the whole day or stay overnight.
and what is the rules of that?
It's only for loading water.
I didn't figure what the rules are.
So the rules by black and white, it's not supposed to be there at all, by black and white definition.
Could you park it in the street?
Good, not in my jurisdiction. That'd be a bit of a pain, but that could be a solution, yes.
Yes,
Yeah, so if you,
I can run the hose.
Yeah. that'd be
Yeah,
fine. I mean, it's a pain, I understand that, but that gets you out of,
so
I-
if you see in a driveway, it's like a part of the house or?
no, it's just in this zone, in this area,
Mhm.
there can be no commercial vehicles cannot be there
Okay.
at all. And that's why 7 Thistle was here,
Oh,
and that's
I
why
see.
we have number 10.
If
in
I
there.
park in the street for a little while, so it's not.
Yeah,
gonna
park
be
in the
a problem.
street.
You can park in the
You
street.
park in the street all day. You can park in the street
Yeah,
all day,
I
that's fine.
didn't know that, so.
Yeah.
it's no
The
problem
neighbor
for
will be
me.
more unhappy. because
Well, the
of
neighbor
you.
won't be happy, but I won't care. So that's what matters.
Some-
Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna stay all day.
Sometimes the
and
cure is
all
worse than the
that, so-
disease. We'll get you parking right in front of his house.
That's legal, that's legal, so.
Oh,
you can do that.
okay, yeah, you mean, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No, I
Well,
know.
now you know what you can do.
Right.
Okay, so. All right, so here's what's gonna go on. We have found you in violation. We're gonna fix the violation, and it's gonna be the end of this.
Right.
Violation found. There's no problem fixing it, because you just don't put that on the property. Perfect.
Okay.
Okay. Violation found. Owner will no longer mark commercial vehicle on property. We'll continue this for a month.
The 28th again?
Continued to 4/28/21 for monitoring. Mainly, the neighbors do monitoring.
Seems like it.
for-
Seems like it, yeah.
Okay, oral notice. So you're gonna come back here on 4/28.
Yeah.
However, give John a call beforehand.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe you want, we'll see what's going on.
Is- What I'll do is basically give me a call like a week or a few days before
Sure.
the hearing. If I haven't heard anything from the neighbor, or I haven't seen it, or at worst, that's been in the street,
Okay,
maybe you don't have to come back.
so for, no, April.
April, here, go ahead, April 28th.
April 15th.
And,
The same time?
yep, it'll be Wednesday, and it's, yeah, like I said, if you want to keep coming in at 4, that's fine, we can do that.
Yeah, okay, that is a good time.
Sure.
Uh,
Yeah, that's,
I have a question,
Yeah.
nothing about this,
Yeah.
another. I have
Wait a minute.
well, yeah, let's,
We're on the record. Just
yeah,
hold
so give, what I would do for that,
Oh,
Wait a second.
give me a phone call or an email
mhm.
tomorrow. I'm in tomorrow. And just because we gotta keep this, the hearings going.
Okay,
So that's, especially if it's something kind of unrelated. So we wanna keep everything related here.
Okay.
So-
very good.
Not a problem. No problem. We're also still on the record, so you don't want to say anything that you don't want, that you don't want anybody to hear.
Sure.
So you're all set with this one.
Mhm.
And so what we'll do is just, like I said, a few weeks before, or a couple days before, give me a call, and then we'll see if you even have to come back here in April.
Okay. Very
All
good.
right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the hearings for today. We will see you guys next week for the next set of hearings, Wednesday, March 31st. Good night.